I want to thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I'm Bernard Smalls, founder of Atlanta New Thought Center, and we are a center for right thinking. We teach positive thinking, positive words, and positive action. And boy, do we need more positivity in the world today. You know, if you just focus on the media and feed on all the stuff that's going on, boy, it'll bring you down. So we want to inject you with some positivity. We are studying 40 Days of Success and taking a very practical look at the topic of success. And we are viewing this from a biblical point of view. I'm not ashamed to say that. I believe that, again, the Bible is a great success book, but we have just not understood how to apply it. And one aha that I've had is that we need to be loving teachers of truth and help people to come to the knowledge of the great I am. So today we're going to talk some more about success, and we have been basing this on Joshua 1:8, which teaches that we are to keep Scripture in our mouths, we're to affirm the Word, we're to meditate on Scripture, and to take positive action. And this is not about right and wrong. See, negative people are always talking about, well, if you get sin out of your life, you'll be successful. Well, you know what sin means in the Hebrew? The word means missing the mark. So a person who is failing is simply missing the mark. Now, in what area? That's up to the individual to examine and judge. But I'm teaching principles that, if applied, they will work for you. The master teacher Jesus taught that the Father is love and he reigns on the just and the unjust. That means he's good to everybody. So let's just enjoy the goodness and flow in our program. Now today, I want to kick off week 3, and we're going to talk some about goal setting. We're going to start to get real practical today. Many people fail because they fail to set goals. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, as the old saying goes. And if you don't have a plan for your life, guess what? Someone else does. So it's very important that you set goals. And we're going to give you a goal setting formula, a simple goal setting formula. First of all, there's a quote I like that says, "No wind blows in favor of a ship without a destination." Meaning, if the ship does not know, or the captain of the ship, where he or she is going, the wind does no good. All right. So how do you set your goals? How do you reach your goals? I'm going to quickly give you a goal setting formula, because goal setting is very important to success. Goal setting formula, principle number 1, define your goal. What is your goal? What is your dream? If you don't have a goal, make finding a goal your goal. Number 2, set out your strategy. You must have a strategy. Plans in progress mean power, and we need to be strategic. And the sad thing about many, quote, spiritual people is they're not very strategic. They just say, well, if the Lord wants me to prosper or have money, I'll have it. You know, if he doesn't, I won't. No, you've got to set out a strategy. Number 3, plan out problems. You said plan out problems. Bernard, that's negative. No, it's not negative. It's not negative to prepare. In the world of business, we call it scenario planning. Like, for instance, you launch a business and you think, okay, if the economy goes bad in 3 years, here's a plan to overcome that. If this happens in the government and they raise taxes, here's a plan to overcome it. Or if you just start your own small business and you run out of money, what are you going to do? You said, but you're teaching success. I'm not going to run out of money. Okay. In the real world, we need to plan and be prepared for scenarios of what could actually go wrong. Because in this negative planet we live in, guess what? Things do go wrong. Storms come, floods happen, hurricanes happen. Would you agree with that if you're on the same planet I'm on? So you've got to plan out your problems, but don't dwell on the problems. Just be prepared. Number 4, build in reserves. Prepare. Build in friends reserves. Build in financial reserves. Build in physical reserves. And I even encourage you to build in spiritual reserves. It's good to have spiritual reserves so that when something happens, you are prepared to deal with that. Number 5, relate to time frames. If you're going to accomplish your goal, set your goal in time frames. I'm always thinking in time frames, like I'm thinking by the time I'm this age, I need to be here. By the time I'm this age, I want to be here. And I have goals set all the way up to 100. I recently set a 40-year goal. You say that's kind of ridiculous. No, it gives you hope. Where there is no vision, you will perish. So you've got to have a vision. You've got to have hope. You've got to have goals related to time frames. And number 6, create a master plan. Now, a master plan is where you put everything in writing. So hopefully you have a vision board, you have your plans, you have your strategies, but the master plan is bringing it all together. And finally, number 7, take action now. Do it now. Do something now. Whatever you can do it today. Because here's the way life works. If you don't get started, procrastination tends to set in. And procrastination is the worst nation. Very little humor, I know. But a lot of us, we have things we started or talked about starting years ago, or that we said we were going to do, and it's still sitting there on the shelf. Successful people are people of action. So ask yourself the question, what is my full potential? At what age will I reach my full potential? How much of my potential am I using right now? And what do I need to do to get to using 100% of my potential? We are talking about 40 days of success. And I want to thank you so much for studying with us. Visit us on the World Wide Web at www.atlantanewthought.com. And may God expand your life until your destiny is fulfilled.